Enra ana yenyan ntie ye breaking news no edema am say Kenneth Ofori Atta a former finance minister for Ghana under Adodankwa Adogaga Adusho boy government no emu no ye detaining no ewo US na ICE a wongo de say ye be kai a afi atwa mu ya around August mu honom ye hu say Ghana for ene adufo ahodo a omo akogu US a wonom enye won krata asem omo ni green papers che say omo ede asi womo so ebra Donald Trump ebeye president. In fact na wonom edwane a ene oboso na wusuani bi owo America no wafre wo say hey Charlie say Donald Trump hunt me o edi sa empanifo yi na omo ana che say enra omo editeni Ken Ofori Atta na ebra editeni no na a law firm allegedly owned by Ken Ofori Atta the notice and answer press release eba na abusianfo stay with me na yen kan report no na answer na ye kan report na ye ka o say Island TV Plus ebra waje bre a wutie ye no obe like video no maro fi say obe comment na fi wa share na subscribe channel no e de amaye yenya ebre na yen kan one public notice and answer press release Menka Premo was able to Bruce Catlin and Partners law firm allegedly owned by Ken Ofori Atta, former finance minister. One of the this is what they had to say. The United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, as of yesterday, detained the former finance minister, Mr. Ken Ofori Atta, regarding the status of his current stay in the United States. His U.S. legal team is in contact with ICE and expects the matter to be resolved expeditiously. Mr. Ken Ofori Atta has a pending for adjustment of status, which authorizes a person to stay in the U.S. legally past the period of validity of their visa. Under U.S. law, a change of status by this method is common. The public is therefore advised to note that Mr. Ken Ofori Atta, as a law-abiding person, is fully cooperating with ICE to have this issue resolved. We a law firm allegedly owned by Ken Ofori Atta, and some more de betu dwa ebra yenyano ente say editaining no na ehin and editaining. Of course it is in the US, but where specifically in the US ana editaining Ken Ofori Atta. In fact sources HS Virginia baby one old prisons and HS one ayensan kakra wo ana say wo maye ho no detainees place eti yechiwa na chese ho na ye do wa be ko eti se wo hwe pictures ni bia etwagu no a na chese ho fe pa abrochire prison na chese ho fe no chese de sa ho fe chese ho de eti se wo hwe pictures no bia etwagu no a Virginia ho no no na yede Ken Ofori Atta ekoto ye na ewemu kire se enu a oda ho na ebe won say a whole former finance minister for a country like Ghana, a sovereign country like Ghana, na ekwakoba say baby say na obeda because you have refused to come back to your own country. Country is say what did you dream na bra na yemusa wansem ba ko mienu bi enti enyafe say baby say ana a former finance minister for a sovereign state like Ghana. Ebeda enti detention center ho no ye frɛ ho Caroline Detention Center say na be kan na wo Virginia na woda ho na edian na ma saa na detaining ebaaye se uhwe letter and answer press notice ya ne lawyers no law firm a Ghana no e de ba ye no a e release ye no a omoma ya te say in the US no se obi ekwotena ho though ne passport no valid se mo be kai a enche ana amananse azure e ma ye beti ase se Ken Ofori Atta ne visa ebe expire on 14th of February 2026 enti opim say ebe expire there na ye hu ni say there is nothing the Ghana Attorney General can do. In fact, Ghana sent a extradition request for Ken Ofori Atta to be extradited back to Ghana. Now, you know, enti na ye de yenim say enhyefu fro bia betimi aba anaso na mu bia betimi aba efa Ken Ofori Atta say ni wakudi US ne ho a it will be after when ne visa no be expire. But in the US immigration, customs and then immigration won dwumadi mu no omo frɛ bibi visa expiration date eno no different and ye wo authorized stay na visa expiration no say oh okay as we know and I say senior manase arima hu ye say Ken Ofori Atta ne visa apparently ye nim which kind of visa say B1 and I say B2 say visited visa and I say medical treatment visa and ye de man no apparently ye nim enti sa visa no date ho de nanso the authorized stay aspect no no de the customs and the border protection agency anytime or ura country be a mono or determine how many days I'll bet me a dini chronom no na determines how your authorized stay no and anytime according to your research ura any country no the custom and then border protection agency work chronom no you omudi medie no nko so omudi medie is different from customs and also immigration and penifo na nkasa enti omo no che how many days I bet me spend within that particular country enti though wo visa na bet me expire in 10 years time. However, authorized stay no se edu na wan ko renew as ne lawyers no amayate ase na then the rest of your stay no from that time ni nyina ebe illegal enti you can be detained for overstaying. Enti eno na echirechiremu anase research ami ehun say ebetimi a link to the overstay of Ken Ofori Atta though ne visa no according to sources na expire on the 14th of February. However, the authorized stay ye ama no as provided by Customs and then Border Protection no ebetimi aba say days no edu enti in an attempt to revise sad days the authorized stay law within US eno na be say a result in this detainment ya aba obia eka ho asem na ebinum so e kire say well ebetumi aba say red notice Ghana yede ama US investigative authorities omo aya aware say Ken Ofori Atta he's under a certain criminal offense. They are charging him until he must be brought back to Ghana for questioning. Betimi aba say eno nso ho na enam so ama Ken Ofori Atta ye detain no say na be ya ye betimi ye deport no e de na ba Ghana. In fact, many efforts by Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayini Akuritinga to extradite Ken Ofori Atta no oso oguso de anko no de nku nya yakora no anko de abutreka said ne eno ene mudi nkomo no ko de abutreka ebema US for no nanka wo mo so de Ken Ofori Atta ama Ghana if you say Office of the Special Prosecutor are charging with about 78 charges edi enye charges kuma NHS Ken Ofori Atta ebegina no ebra obestepe foot in Ghana. In fact, issue no eba say ye detaining Ken Ofori Atta no come here say Ghana for any age but then na the Brony Ebese, the new ones within the case, because it is not Ghana, an extradition request. Enti ana ye detain Ken Ofori Atta na emu no ni immigration status or they were US na ewiemu a yasan ye ekire se owo UK visa it will expire somewhere around 2030 na wasa wo Schengen visa so in fact he is preparing to get a green card ebe insulating no e free sa harassment here currently so between Ken Ofori Atta and IC, Ain't say processes no go through there any Ghana for was ya to ya adwene mukra say ye benya Ken Ofori Atta say ye deporting back to Ghana now be face the full rigor of the Ghanaian law. Anka Ghana for ni nyina pen say some ye detain here na anka ebekwa awie no hwemu bekwa awie ya IC day or anu December ban nanka deport Ken Ofori Atta because we want Ken Ofori Atta back in Ghana. In fact ekuokuo bi kura o Ghana hanu a omo adwene se o be ye kire de akọ the US embassy se na ebe ya Ken Ofori Atta government US be say Ghana for any abre now we need him back in Ghana to face the full rigor of the law and also the full force of the Ghanaian law. In fact, Ghana for under a programmer, the domestic debt exchange programmer, Ken Ofori Atta, ACT2, Ghana for Bibrina, so now they are pissed at Ken Ofori Atta. They really want him back in Ghana to answer questions. Na begin say Omakoma at all. I would say, Island TV Plus. Yera was say wajibre what we know was a breakdown of why Ken Ofori Atta was arrested. After so all the development abeba as when yensa abeka no ye ne yetiefo ene ahwefo nyina abeche so na ya you will not miss a single update. Subscribe to the channel no FMI na like video no. In fact, my room if you say or drop it or comment and so comment section or a day am I